top of it. Today is October 7th, 2025, man, and today's date stuck out to me this morning when I saw it in particular because I remember that was the day that I took a leap of faith in my life, my hero's journey, if you will. And that brought me to talking about this topic because, you know, that was one of the most exciting times of my life, man. And I think as a man, we all have to take some version of our hero's journey. And for every man, that's different. You know, we all have different callings. We all have different passions and interests that are just in our gut, in our heart, that are just begging for us to just go try it out. For me, it was stand-up comedy. You know, I remember a few months before I took that leap of faith, it just hit me out of nowhere. I was like, I got to do something. I just dropped out of college, you know, and I was on the brink of almost joining the military, the Air Force. And I remember getting in that recruiter's office and I could feel my heart pounding, and I was just listening to myself, and I was like, man, this is not what I want to do. You know, because I already knew what the military had in store, and I didn't want to take that path, man. It was too easy for me. You know, shout out to the people in the service, but for me, I was like, man, I don't want to take that path. My dad was in the Army. I already know what that life is about. But I realized, man, I want to take a journey that not many people have taken. You know, I want to do something a little risky, something different, right? That just was calling me, which, like I said, was stand-up comedy. And looking into it, I know there was no real path to success. There was an idea that I had of how to make it, but ultimately I knew it was a big risk and I had to figure things out along the way. I would have to find a job to pay my bills in the day and then pursue comedy at night. And that was some of the most fun times of my life, man. And I think every man needs to take that journey, whether it's, you know, it's typically in your early 20s is when you really should take it. Around that 21 to 23 age range is when you really should be taking that journey. But ultimately, man, it doesn't matter how old you are, man. You can be 40, 50, and you got that inkling to do something different, to pursue something, man. You got to do it. It's this calling you have, man. It's like an intuitive thing where you just gotta go, man. Like your heart, you can't live right without taking that leap. And you know, it's very fulfilling, man. You don't want to die an old man and just, you know, just be like most people and just take the guaranteed path that's laid out for you. And it's just boring. It's not fulfilling. It's too easy. There's no excitement. You know, your story is not full of like twists and turns and discovery. No, most people just live a life of mediocrity and just mundane, dry boringness. And I'm telling you, man, you don't want that for yourself. You don't want to look, it's cool to get that guaranteed job and get your family and you know what I'm saying, do all that stuff. But you got to give it at least a shot, man, at some point in your life while you can move your body. You know, you got that youth about you where you have that energy, the vitality to go venture out and do something that your heart is calling you for, man. And I say, if you haven't taken that leap yet, man, you need to write down what it is you want to do deep down. Whether it makes sense logically or not, it doesn't matter. If somebody else can do it, you can do it. There's a possibility. Even if you fail, it doesn't matter. Just, you want to be able to at least try and see if you can do it, right? Like me, I didn't make it with comedy. I did it for 10 years and I just recently stopped because I saw that it wasn't going anywhere. However, I don't regret taking that leap at all. Because funny enough, taking my journey towards stand-up comedy, along my journey, I discovered business, I discovered stock option trading and investing, and I met a lot of beautiful women that I dealt with, and I've discovered so many other interests that I have, and I just ultimately have discovered myself on a deeper level. I developed a skill on communicating with people. Public speaking is nothing to me. It's light work for me. Whereas that's one of the biggest fears for most people. And I do it like in my sleep. It's nothing, right? And that's just my example of where that path led me to, man. It's not about making the exact, getting the exact mark that you're aiming for. Like, what is that saying? Shoot for the moon and you end up amongst the stars or something like that. I'm sure you guys have heard of that quote. But it's so true, man. That's why most people don't take that journey. They don't take that leap because they're scared they'll miss. They're scared they'll fail. And it won't go exactly how they have it planned in their mind. But it's not about everything going as planned. It's just about making a plan and going and taking a chance. See what happens. Get that fulfillment. Discovery, man. Adventure. Life. This is what life is about, man. We watch movies and play video games about a character who's going on an adventure and has to go from the bottom and trek his way to the top of the mountain, and along the way he has to fight all these villains, and he makes friends along the way, and he finds that girl, and the movie that's got all the typical storyline, right? That's the hero's journey, right? And that's what it's about. It's about you being your own hero and being able to live it out instead of just fantasizing about it. Nah, man, no more fantasizing. Make it real. And it ain't gotta be no spectacular, crazy, just unbelievable stuff. It's like stuff you can actually do. But you can live a fulfilled life, man. That's exciting. So I want to point that out, man, and just let you know that it's all right, man, especially when you're younger, man. This is really for guys in their 20s, man. You really got to get on it, because you can still do it, like I said, when you're older, 40s and 50s, 30s, but it's tougher, man, because by that time you're most likely going to have a bunch of obligations. You're going to have a career set. You're going to have probably a wife and kids and all that, bills. So it gets tougher, man. But when you're young and you got nothing really to lose, you got everything to gain, experience, take that chance. Even if you take a L, man, you can just easily bounce back, get a job, and reevaluate. But nonetheless, this is one of the best things that I ever did in my life. And still to this day, I get excited just thinking about those days. For me, it was I packed up all my bags, staying at home with my mom, with my folks in Alabama, and just dipping out to Tampa, Florida, somewhere that I've never been before that time, and I didn't know anyone over there. I'm like, let me go. I want to go back to Florida because I went to school in South Florida and I loved it. So let me go check out Tampa. And that's where I started my comedy journey, and that was a fun time, man. And then it eventually led me out here in good old Texas, and I'm still writing my journey, man. And I'm still fulfilling my entire hero's journey, because it's not over. For me, everything's pivoted towards this new venture of trading, and my trading is not the end goal. It's just the fuel my ultimate dreams, my ultimate ideas of inventions and, you know, gifts that I want to bring to the world to benefit humanity. And so that's all entailed, and that all began from pursuing comedy and pursuing something, man, and taking that leap, not knowing exactly how it would end up. I didn't know anything. I didn't know what was going to happen. I just knew I wanted to go. I wanted to figure it out along the way. And I have zero regrets, man. I feel fulfilled. I feel great. I feel youthful. And that was 11 years ago, man. And here I am today to talk about it. And I wish the same for everybody watching this video, man. I hope you find your version of that. I hope you pursue it relentlessly, unapologetically. Do it for yourself, man. Do it for your soul, man, because your soul is calling you to do something. But I don't know, some of y'all get scared about society, what your parents might think, your friends, the people you went to school with. I don't know. Some of y'all are scared of that, you know, and you know, you graduated high school years ago. That should be the last thing you think about. Who cares what anybody thinks about? You're the one that has to live your life. You're the one that's gonna be on your deathbed one day, wishing you would have did that thing that you wanted to do. But I don't want you to be like that, man. You don't want to be that old man just like, man, if only I would have took that chance instead of just doing the safe, guaranteed path. I'm just saying, man, something to think about. It's fulfilling, man. Live a full life. Don't live life on the sidelines. Get out on the battlefield, man, and get you some glory. You dig? But that's it, man. I appreciate y'all watching. Leave a like real quick. It's free. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this beautiful subject, and subscribe if you mess with me. I got more stuff on the way, man. And as always, I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace.